Big up to everyone joining me. Good evening, good evening. And normally it would be Eminem facing you this morning, guys, for the early manager press conference, but there's a change in the time, guys, and Mick is stuck at a dinner with the fam. So he's left me with the keys to bring it home. So, guys, join me as we get tuned in for the manager's press conference. It's about to start in the next 5 minutes, guys. I'm glad you're here to join me. Let's hear what the manager has to say about the team news ahead of Nottingham Forest clash in the FA Cup away. Manchester United at the City Ground. Guys, what are your thoughts? Get in the comments. Let me know what you're thinking. It's your boy, Mark, an MUFC fan, and it's Mick Ruby here in the spirit at the MUFC Realist TV Managers Press Conference. Guys, we're live. Let's hear what you have to say, and let's just take this time to smash the likes and subscribe as we see what's up.
It's showtime.
Welcome back to MUFC Realist TV and Beat the Press. Please stay tuned to find out these top stories with your host, Mick Ruby. Welcome to Beat the Press. Here we go.
Okay, let's go.
And we're back, guys. What are your thoughts? Let me know. What do you think is going to happen into the press conference today? I see Red G is coming in saying ETH is sacking himself with these press conferences. I know you're having a laugh, my bro. How are you? I hope you're having a great day. Will Ten Hag rotate? Mick pulled a hamstring. Coming in from the gaffer himself. You know he can't stay away. Hope he's enjoying dinner. Guys, what's going on? Big up to you, 433 Presser coming in. Morning, guys. Morning to everyone. Superfly is coming in. Salute to you, my brother. Hope you're having a good day. I see Kenny Fan TV's also coming in saying, it's squad rotation is necessary and needed. Guys, what's going on? Let me know what you're thinking. But you know what I'm thinking? Let's try to get to 100 likes before the presser starts. It's only going to be in 2 minutes. But, it's going to be one of those things. The presser is warming up, guys. What are your thoughts? I'm going to bring in one or two guests that I have coming in. I hope he's ready. Sachiv, Kenny Fan TV. How are you doing, my bro?
Yo, what's good, Mark? I'm good, man. How you doing, man?
Are you good? Are you good? Hope all is well, man.
Yeah. Everything is normal and good, man. So good. Just like the office days, it's fine.
100%, 100%, my bro. 1 second, 1 second. So, how are you feeling? I see you saying, we should be rotating ahead of the clash. What are your thoughts? Let me know what you're thinking about, going into the game against Nottingham Forest right before the presser begins. I'm gonna bring it to the screen shortly, guys.
Uh, yeah, Mark. I think because from what I've heard from like Forest,
Oh, the presser is starting, Kenny.
First of all, update is on Casemiro because he went off with it was a cut and a bang to the head. Is he allowed to play? Is he available to play tomorrow?
Yes. So it was worse bleeding, so we had to come off. Was not in our advantage that he couldn't continue the game, but he's available for tomorrow.
There was no concussion or anything like that.
No.
Just in terms of tomorrow's game, how important is it to keep going in this competition? Clearly, it's silverware that you could win, but also for general confidence around the club. I know you said you're aligned with Sir Jim Ratcliffe and Ineos, but results like Saturday's undermine confidence that the club's going in the right direction.
When you are unbeaten for January and February and you lose one game, and we know our aim is to win every game. As United, you have to win every game, and obviously it was poor performance, poor defeat. We are aware of this, Yeah, and we want to stay in every competition. So on your first question, yeah, we have to win tomorrow, but that doesn't change our approach, because that is for every game.
When you talk about the future to people like Sir Dave Brailsford, what exactly do you talk about?
About the future,
Yeah.
so I know the future, and but also I have to look in today's, and yeah, we have to work on the team development and the progress, and of course to win every game. And that's also what we are doing. So a lot of effort is in what is today, but yeah, we also already look forward to longer term.
Speaking about working with the team, Eric, I don't know if you saw any of the Monday Night Football coverage last night, but Jamie Carragher was dissecting your team's out of possession performance, and he was looking specifically at the Fulham game, and he said that from what he could work out, you were trying to press high and also do a low block at the same time. I mean, when you hear things like that, is that a fair criticism of what you see unfold on the pitch?
So first of all, so some analysts are very objective in their comments, very good advices. Some are very subjective. So Jamie Carragher is one of them. From the first moment on, he's criticized, and now he wants to make his point. And probably in the first half an hour, yeah, he had a point where Fulham in the midfield setup, a little bit surprises, and then we had to find the solutions. And after half an hour, we found the solutions. And where we are, I was not pleased with the performance in defending, especially there over the left side, how we did that, the pressing, because they came out, especially in the first half an hour, several times over the left side. Can't happen. And that has to do everything with willingness and spirit and passion. And so, yeah, that was in the previous weeks was very good from this team. And therefore, we won football games. So, yeah, but I know football are not robots. Sometimes they have bad days. So, yeah, but it can't be. It's unacceptable. And we have to do better tomorrow. But in the weeks before, we have done very well.
So in terms of the goal Fulham scored, that was a moment on the pitch, the players having a bad time, rather than the strategy in terms of defending.
The goal Fulham.
Yeah, Fulham's winner, when they broke them up.
It can't happen when they have a throw-in the corner. How we managed this as a team, that was no good.
Mickey.
Eric, you're not trying to throw younger players in, as we saw at the weekend with Omari, and Amad Diallo came on late on in the game as well. I just wanted to ask you about Anthony and the situation. He's kind of dropped down the pecking order a little bit. Is that something between yourself and the player? Is he not been performing the way you want him to perform? And what's the situation going to be with him with the summer coming up also?
First of all, so I brought Kobe Mino, and everyone is questioning. And now we are 6 weeks ahead, and the same who questioning are now telling he has to go in the England squad. Same people. Garnacho, it's the truth. I brought Garnacho. So what is the manager doing? What is the staff doing? But similar. They need time, and I think so. Omari came on, and it's not easy to come in a game because we didn't play our best game. So the team, then it's also for him not easy. But he plays a reasonable game, and I think he shows abilities. He can be a player for the future, and so they need some time. But they also have to know in top football you don't get time. You have to perform, and when you come in, you have to show it. But as a manager, I know they need the time. So that is the paradox, and I will give them the time because I believe in these players. And then the second question, Anthony, I backed him for a long time, and I know his abilities, and he has great abilities. He is, when he plays, how I know from the past, he is unstoppable. He is no defender, I think, can stop him because he's one of the quickest players in the first 10 yards. So when he plays that game, then he will perform. And I'm sure, I'm very confident he will do for the future. I'm sure he is resilient. He is a character, and he will fight back. So yeah, I back him in that place, and he has now to wait for his chance. And once he's there, he has to pick him.
Eric, just with the cup game.
That's a good
tomorrow and
answer.
then with the
That's a good
derby at
answer.
the end
Like
of the
that.
week, does this feel like quite a defining week in terms of how the season will be viewed at the end?
So many, and there will be coming up more defining moments. And for me, it's always the first game is the most important.
Make sure you tune into Matchday Live from 6-4.
Guys, that was the press conference from Eric Ten Hag, and it's embargoed. The next half will be coming on, as you heard, at 6 p.m. Guys, what are your thoughts? Let me know what you are thinking. You know what I mean? We're going to have a reaction same time this evening, along with the second half of the embargoed section with Mick Ruby, who is going to be here live for that section. So, guys, let's talk about what's happening, what's going on with the press conference. You know, what are your thoughts on the questions and the responses? Let me know what you're thinking in the comments, guys. Kenny, you heard the press conference, bro. What did you think?
From what I think about the press conferences is that like especially about the Anthony one, I just felt like what he was trying to say is that I think in his translation, Anthony needs to do a lot hard in training, and I think that's what I thought it is. So probably that was why he got a very limited time, very limited game time. So I'm not sure about, I'm not exactly sure about the translation in like Anthony, and I didn't really hear much about Ten Hag saying like Anthony is being unstoppable and all. I don't think he really said that. I don't know. I don't know why some people say in the comments that like Anthony is unstoppable. I didn't even really hear him say that.
True. You know, I was watching and I was hearing the presser, and he was, depending on some of the questions that he was asked, I think he was asked some good question. You know, he was asked the first question about Casemiro. Will he be available? You know, his response was yes, he'll be available. There was no concussion in the medical, results after they probably tested him. You know, so like Rushmano was saying, Casemiro is back. You know, it's big up to that. You know what I mean? It's kind of, the second question was like, how important is it to keep going in this competition? They were thinking about the facts where I guess they were asking him based on if he was to lose, what would be the results, because we're already fighting and we need to get top 4. If we get out of this competition, what would the new owners think, And then, he replied and he was like, well, we are unbeaten in January and February. We lose one game. Obviously, it was a poor performance. But, we have to win every game. We want to win every game. And I believe that.
Yeah. It's a good answer you did. It's a good answer.
Yeah.
Question.
I see 433 presses coming in. What's going on, guys? You can call in, and I dropped the link in the comments and you can hear what you have to say. What are your thoughts and reaction on the presser? Hey, my bro, what's going on?
Yeah, Mark, what's up? Nothing much.
Chilling. What do you think about the presser? What about this question that he was asked? When you speak of the future about Sir Dave Brailford and, Ineos movement, what are you talking about? What do you think about his answer to that question?
Listen, Ten Hag himself, he has to sell his project to Brailsford and Radcliffe in order to have a position at the club next season. So, anything that he's doing at this moment in time till the end of the season, it has to be to the extent where they can look at him to say that he will be the right man for the future. Now, is Ten Hag getting the best results so far? I mean, before the Fulham defeat, to a certain extent, we were getting the results, but not the performances. And he has spoken about Brailsford and Radcliffe talking about, we have to play this specific style of football. Now, we don't have the players to play that style of play, right? Especially for this season. But he has to sell himself to the extent where they can look at him to keep him for the future. And I think he's in a tricky position now, but we have to see what he does until the end of the season. If he wins the FA Cup, can that change? Can that turn things around for him? Maybe, maybe not.
Yeah, that's a good assessment. I was thinking somewhere along the same lines. I probably couldn't articulate it as well as you did, my bro, to be fair. And I think he's doing, from my perspective, I might be super positive. I think he's doing a decent job with all the circumstances, and the context. If you
Mhm.
look at the season, the injuries, the lack of a second striker that we could have, that we should have to back up Hoyland, and the fact that we don't really have a replacement in that could come in and be like for Lissandro Martinez. You know what I mean? So I feel like the drop off was always going to be huge. And I can't really argue with what he's saying based on the fact that we are looking on the field and we're not seeing the performances from players week in, week out. Some players might show up this week, they might not show up next week. You know what I mean? And there might be a different group of players the following game. So we need to see some consistency. And maybe we really need to send some players off. And it looks like he's planning to use the youth. You know what I mean? Like when they asked him about Anthony, what about Anthony going forward? And he basically was like, first, he talked about Anthony and he was like, Anthony, I backed him for a long time. I know him from the past. He was unstoppable when he's at his best. I'm confident he will be better for the future. He will fight back. And now he has to wait
Yeah.
for his chance. You know what I mean? So it's like it's something that we as fans want to see because, he brought in Kobe Mainu and everyone was questioning him, like he was saying in the press conference. They were like, is he really good enough? And now they're asking, why is Gareth Southgate not selecting him for England? You know what I mean? It's the same with Garnacho. He backed Garnacho. So I'm looking at it from the perspective that this manager is going to bring in younger players. He's going to try the youth. He's going to try to play his system and his way, but it's just a matter of time, not only for him, but for those players to develop as well. Are you there, bro?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, Sachin wants to go first. Sachin.
Yeah, Sachin, what are your thoughts, bro?
Yeah, yeah, Mark. I think especially especially through like bad circumstances of like injury, like it was good for Ten Hag to use like youth system where he can integrate new players, then like through the next summer transfer, he was kind of buy some of the some like top quality players, like experienced players that could allow the like several youth players to really integrate in the summer from next year. So like I can see how Ten Hag is trying to judge. I can see where my judgment is literally on Ten Hag. So I think he's preparing them for like next season. That's probably what I can see.
433, what are you thinking, man?
Mark, let me tell you this before I answer. At this moment in time, I do not know if I'm Ten Hag in or Ten Hag out due to the mitigating circumstances with injuries as well as our selection problems not bringing in a striker in January. And, a lot of us can be overly harsh on Eric Ten Hag at certain moments in time. And, he spoke about injuries to a certain extent and the youth. And, if you look across the season with Anthony in particular, right? Months ago, we called for Anthony to be dropped when he was performing poorly week in, week out. But if you talk about dropping a player, right, who was readily available, who could have made a step into the first team that would have been better than Anthony? It's one thing playing the youngsters, but whenever they have a bad game, etc., you cannot keep continue playing them. So guess what? You still have to bring in Anthony. Now, it has reached a point in time where Anthony has been really bad across the season where you would definitely have to drop him. And we kind of found the solution when we started to play Garnacho off the right hand side, Rashford off the left, and then Rasmus Haaland in the middle. Now, that is kind of stagnated with Rasmus Haaland being injured. So we kind of have to revert back to well, we played Omar Farson over the weekend, but probably we will see Anthony come tomorrow, or maybe Amad Diallo, depending on what Ten Hag wants to do. So with all the injuries, it's like sometimes we want players to be dropped, but who do we even have on the bench to replace some of these players? You know what I'm saying? And this is why Eric Ten Hag has backed some of these players so much across the season because there's no one available. You know what I'm saying? Um, and pertaining to Anthony, I think he's fair on Anthony. You know what I'm saying? I think he's fair enough on him. as you said, the back team. He knows that he has the ability. Do I think he has the ability? I think every football player has the ability. It's just about applying yourself. I don't know if Anthony's
100%.
applying himself enough or whatever the case is, or it could be the coaching staff. It could be so many things, or maybe the player's just not good enough, and we have to move him on come the summer. But that will be up to the board and Eric Ten Hag at the end of the day.
100%, and that's how I view things. I feel like we agree on that like 100%. I can't even dispute it. Big up, guys. I'm also streaming this live to my channel, so thanks for those guys who subbed recently this week. Close to 150 subs. Big up to Mick Ruby for giving me the chance. He's always having me on this channel, MUFC Realist TV. Guys, it'd be nice to have you guys in and about. We have upcoming streams as well that we'll be doing stuff. If you guys could pop on, leave your information in the private chat, 423, leave your email, such a view too, so I can, send you the link to streams. It will be easier to do so.
Oh yeah, sure.
Okay, no problem.
Red G, big up to you, bro. ETH has 12 games left at manager. He won't be here next season. The new owner will want his own manager. That always happen. I won't say it always happened. Like, I was checking a stat the other day, and when you look at across Europe, if you look across Europe, it's largely not the trend. It's more of the trend in the Premier League. But as we can see, if you look at this season and you look at what's happening with a lot of the top clubs changing managers, I don't think it might be the ideal situation, like Stephanie had said a few days ago in a stream as well, that right now in this summer where a lot of clubs are trying to change managers, it's not the good time to lose Eric Ten Hag, because you're not guaranteed to get a better situation coming in, and who knows if it might set us back 18 months in development again, because then we'd have to hope the manager is going to use a lot of the players we have and not just the ones that we might be able to move on in the summer. I don't see it realistic that we are going to move on 10 to 14 players from this squad. I see it more like a 5 to 6 or maybe a 7, 8 players moved on. Because when I look at the young players who went out on loan, it says to me that there's a lot of them coming back to come into the squad next season as substitutes, especially the likes of Dan Gore Jr., a probable Alvaro Fernandez when you look at the left back situation. You know what I mean? So I'm looking at it like we might probably lose some players, but we're going to bolster the squad with those youth who are out on loan, especially the ones doing well. And, maybe even bring in 1 or 2 players that would be all in the region of spending 2 to 250 million. I don't think we're going to spend 400 million in the summer. I feel like that's going to be something that's too drastic, in a sense that, I feel like they will try to bring in players for a costly, like let's say we get three players for like 100 million rather than buying 1 or 2. You know what I mean? So it's left to be seen what's going to be happening, bro. Big up to you, Stephanie Griffin. Big up to the panels. Big up to all of you guys. 13 likes. I know it's an early press conference. It was initially scheduled for 2:45 UK time, but they moved it up an hour early. I don't know why that was. I think it also has to do something with training sessions being cut early. So maybe that's the case. Guys, what are your thoughts? 433. What are you thinking about the last question that he was asked? Because I feel like it was kind of a bit weird, and the way they cut it, there was like, what do you feel like this week is a defining week in the result of your season?
Listen, I don't think it will be a defining week for Eric Ten Hag, because at this moment in time, you could say we're in March. Today is what, the 26th, 27th of February? So we're going into March. It was a setback losing to Fulham. We're 8 points behind Villa now, and if Spurs win 6 points, so we're kind of drifting from the top 4 when we could have be on at least level points with Spurs at this moment in time. But I don't think it'll be defining in the sense that who will they bring in as an interim manager for the rest of the season? Will that solve anything? It's the season is already bad. I would rather him just see it out. The only thing I could say is there's circumstances for tomorrow's game in terms of who will be available for selection. At this moment in time, the team is not at a performance level basis. It's just about results. So if we get a scrap result tomorrow, we have to continue with that. If we lose tomorrow, then we just have to take the hit on the head and focus on the rest of the season for qualifying for Champions League, if there's a possibility.
100%.
Hey!
I see Mick Ruby is back.
Yo, make
Oh, yo, how you all doing? They conned us again. They changed the time. Really? I was like, no,
Yeah.
I literally planned it perfectly fine. I have visitors over visiting my wife's sister and her husband. We went out for dinner, planned everything, and just realized that, oh shit, they changed the time. So I literally ate and I missed the whole presser. So what happened? What was the questions? Can somebody fill me in? I literally ran back to my own studio to be with you guys.
All right, let me pull up the questions because they asked him a few interesting questions, Mick. I think the first question was we all would be expecting, is Casemiro available to
Oh,
play?
yes.
And his answer to that was short and simple. He was like, yes, he was available. There's no concussion ruled by the medical staff and their findings. So right now is basically, as Rashi is saying, Cassie is back. He's available for tomorrow. So
But the question is, guys, will he rotate? Will he rest Casemiro? Will he play the kids?
well, I mean, we have a young Collymore. I didn't ask Keyshawn that or Sachif, but I'm thinking that, that's a good question you asked, Mick. Will he play young Collymore? Will he play Scott McTominay in midfield in place of Casemiro and rest him for Sunday's game against Man City?
Yeah, no, that was the big question on my mind. You saw how Jurgen Klopp was lining up in Carabao Cup final. He played the youth, he played the kids. The question is, because we're playing City over the weekend, I mean, surely he cannot go, the same squad, tomorrow and then on the weekend.
100%. Keyshawn, what are you thinking, bro?
Pertaining to Casemiro, I think the FA Cup is still important. It's still a trophy to play for, and he said it wasn't a head concussion; it was just a kind of bleeding in a sense. So I think he should go with Casemiro for tomorrow's game. I think we still have to play our best squad for the remainder of the season, despite us not having all of our players available for selection. I think the City game is already a loss. There's no way I can see United winning that game, honestly, unless we pull a rabbit out of a hat. You know what I'm saying? But I think he goes with Casemiro tomorrow, honestly.
Right. Right.
Well,
So you reckon he's just going strong, guys? Kenny, what do you say?
Yeah, if I'll be honest with you, I wouldn't be surprised if Eric Ten Hag goes with the stronger team, but because since last season until now, like he used the same except for one Carabao Cup game he used the youth, but I'm kind of suggesting that he could kind of mix it up like a little bit with the
Let's
youth
hope so.
and Casemiro.
Let's hope so. So, Mark, what was the key takeaway points here?
Well,
it was a short and sweet press conference, or
well, they embargoed it. So, like I told the guys in the chat, I told them, listen, we'll come back and do a 6 p.m. live with the embargo, so you can actually get, the Mick Ruby reaction as well.
Really?
And this was the only other question. The only other question of importance for me was like really two questions. When they asked about how important would it be for him to keep going in this competition, and he basically said, well, we're undefeated since January. And we lost one game. It was a poor performance. It's something that we don't want to be doing. We have to be better. But sometimes, it's how it goes and we have to improve. And then they asked him about Anthony. And when they asked him about Anthony, the question was, what how do you feel about, bringing in younger players, and what are your thoughts on Anthony? And are you going to keep him going forward? And his reaction to that, basically, Mick, I'll pull it up to the screen.
Right.
He's like, first of all, I brought in Kobe Mainu and there were questions.
Yeah.
I brought in Garnacho and it was the same. Those same people want now Kobe Mainu for the England squad. Omari came on, he played a reasonable game, but they all need some time. He went on to say that these young players, knowing in top football they don't have the time, it's something of a paradox. And then he went on to say on Anthony, I backed him for a long time. I know him from the past and he's unstoppable when he's at his best. And I'm confident that he will be better for the future and he will fight back because he's a fighter. But now he has to wait for his chance. So he has to sit down on the bench and do
the
his
devil's
work,
in the details.
work hard, and wait for his chance. And
So what do you
I think
What do you take on that comment? The devil is in the details. Bring back the comment again.
Well, he said he has to wait for his chance.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
for me, it's like, okay, you now have to work harder. You have to figure out yourself and whatever issues that is going on with your form, be it your mentality or something like that. And if you come and you get some minutes and you show that you deserve to get more minutes, you will get more minutes. So he's gonna try other players, is what I take away from that. He's gonna
What's
try
your,
a
what's
mad.
your panel's reaction? And it's basically Tanag saying, work harder than the last time, prove that you deserve a spot. I'm not going to pick you based on what you used to be. Or what's your reaction, Kenny? What's your reaction on this one?
You mean for the reaction for Anthony one?
Yes. I mean, if you look at the comment itself, right? He's basically saying that, yeah, I know him since the past. He used to be, really good, but now he has to sort of work harder to prove himself. That's what I read.
Me too.
Yeah, I've just mentioned before. Like he just needs to work hard on his fitness and in his training. Then like I'm sure once he gets selected, then he will start his games. That's what
Right.
I think.
No, I did a morning view report, short. I mean, basically, and this is obvious. I've been banging on this drum for weeks, Mark. Like, if you just look at the wage bill, right? Anyone over the 150K a week will be scrutinized over the summer, and that's including Anthony dos Santos, right? So
100%.
if you don't perform, and you know that Omar Barada has said already, he's already stated it. If you not perform within 2 years, you're out of this club. And that's the thing. And I think that Manchester United, it's time to be ruthless. I got nothing against Anthony, but surely, what we've seen enough to know that he's not Premier League material. You might be well in an Eredivisie, but do you really fit the Premier League, right? Criticism. I like him as a player, but, I'm frustrated personally that if you compare him and Garnacho is more direct. It doesn't stop. But the other thing is with if you compare him with Anthony dos Santos, at least Anthony dos Santos tracks back better, right? But the problem is with Anthony, he never takes on his fullback. He's so predictable. He's only going on his left foot. He just cuts inside and looking for that, to finish off in the top corner, left corner. That's his trick, right? I want to see a different Anthony taking on his fullback, being unpredictable, drag him left, drag him right, like just let the fullback guess what you're going to do next. I haven't seen that. It's not.
Yeah, I haven't seen that. I used to see it at Ajax, to be honest. I saw it a lot in the Champions League, especially in the big games. He used to show up. So I'm hoping that he does it. Right now, I'm looking like I'm also thinking in line with Yarli with what he says. You can take this answer in many different ways. It's ammo for those who want to get Anthony out of the club, and for those who like the player, it's ETH backing him. To me, it was an odd non-answer. In my opinion, it was one of those answers that is bare minimum fact of the truth. At the end of the day, the footballers, a manager has to back his players as well as he has to give other players chances.
Yeah.
So for me, it's always an up and down situation as an athlete, especially when you play in a team. There's always going to be your friend who's playing for your position, as well as the others you are competing with day in and day out. When you're good, you have to always be good because you could also be substituted. So it's a doggy dog kind of fight, and it's how sports is.
In a way, Jose Mourinho was throwing his players evidently under the bus all the time. Impresses. This manager don't. But also evidently to see that he's been accused for picking his favorite, like Anthony not dropping him. So here you go. He's actually dropping him. That's the thing, right?
Yeah, but to be fair, Anthony been dropped for like weeks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He hasn't played he only come on as a substitute since the new year, to be honest. So it's for me, it's like, yeah, hey, it is what it is. I look at it like the team needs this kind of competitive nature. Some players need to be dropped. Some players need to be benched, not just because they're performing bad, but because they also would need to get rest. So fans should be more excited in the rotation and players performing, whether whoever is picked to start in the lineup. You know what I mean? Because there's always a substitute bench. Whether it looks weak or it looks strong from your perspective, They're all Manchester United players.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
guys, panel VR room, let us know in the thoughts and feelings. What do you think? For me, it's clear and evidential. It's a double-edged sword here. Like, you know, you got, 12 games in Premier League to play left. What do you have to lose? You look at the personnel that not really following the instruction, lazy, overpaid. And then you look at the under 21s and under 18s that actually are playing the Erik ten Hag style. Mark, you should know this. You watch them all the time.
Yeah, well, you see, the thing is with me and the younger players is I believe that they always have the potential to do something unpredictable. And I'm pretty sure Keyshawn will say something in his reaction that ran up when I finished. But at the same time, I look at it from the perspective where we have 12 more games left. There's a possible 36 points. If we subtract 3 points for the Man City game and we vicariously subtract another 3 points for whatever loss or draw, you know what I mean? Then we at least get 30 points. We're on 44 points. If we
and plus Kish and everyone else, we have an international break in the middle of March, if I remember.
Right, for 2 weeks.
For 2 weeks.
So it will potentially get us in a situation that if we could probably get at least 4 points in the next 3 games, we get a lot of players back, like Hoyland coming back fit. You know, you will get the likes of Malacia coming back fit. You know what I mean? And it gives us a bolster. We won't probably have a Martinez until probably 7 games left. But that's still, if we could win 7 games in a row, that's 21 points. Then we also would be deciding who wins the title in our last 10 games, because not only do we face Man City,
spoil that. We might spoil it against City. We might spoil
after
City.
we face. Yeah, we might. 2 games
We're playing
after
Arsenal
we
as well.
We play Liverpool 2 games after City. And
Do we
then
play
we play
Arsenal as
Arsenal, the second to last game of the season.
Yeah, so we can spoil their.
So,
You can spoil it.
Yeah.
What are you thinking?
Listen, Tenag used this word. He said application, right? And he speak about young players. If it's one thing young players will give you from the academy is application and 100% on the pitch. Now they might not have the talent at the level that you would want them to, but application is more important than talent at moments in time. You know, when you have these expensive players like the Anthony, the Marcus Rashford, and these guys, if they're not applying themselves on the pitch and following the instructions of the manager, it's almost like you're playing with one less player on the pitch. You know, you're playing with 10 players essentially. Now, I think for the rest of the season, if you look at Amad Diallo, right, and Forcing over the weekend, it wasn't the best showing for them. But I do believe that we should try to include them a bit more, because if you leave players on the bench, you will not know what they're capable of unless you play them. It is hard to make a judgment to say that, oh, if he's on the bench, he's not going to give anything to the team. He has to get minutes. He has to get adequate minutes to apply himself so that you can see as the manager that he can add something to the team that Anthony or the Marcus Rashfords of the world is not adding. So for the rest of the season, if we can implement Amad Diallo and Forrest a bit more, as well as other players, then even Kwambala as well, you know, we should.
Yeah.
No, 100%. I mean, I agree with Jale here is what he's saying. We do need 9 points to be able to get Champions League. We do have City to crack them hard, kick between the legs, ruin the league chances as well. But guys, I read something, correct me if I'm wrong, I read something that Liverpool won the Carabao Cup yesterday, means that even 6 will give Europa.
Mm-hmm.
That means Europa League, right?
Yeah, Europa League. But the biggest factor is that when you look at the table for who gets 5th place in Europe right now, a lot of people are looking at it like, oh, like Italy on top along with Germany, right? But each team, Europe, and whether in the conference, whether it's Europa League, Conference League, or the UEFA Champions League, if an English team is in every one of those finals, they get each 1,000 points. And that 1,000 points takes us to 2nd place. And even if it's just 2 teams in the final, we still go to 2nd place.
So 5th will give us definitely
Champions League.
And we are 3 points, and we are 3 points off Spurs.
And if an English team wins the Europa League, 6th place gets Champions League.
That's it? So if Liverpool wins Europa League?
Yeah, because the winners of Europa League get a Champions League spot. And if we already get the 5th spot for Champions League, then we get a 6th spot in Champions League.
Boys, girls, I never lived the day to say thank you, Liverpool, if you do win the Europa League.
It's a mad one, guys.
But Mark,
It's a
let me ask
mad
you a
one. That's
question.
what happened with Villa last season. I think Villa finished 8th, but because West Ham won the Conference League and got Europa, Villa got a place.
No, I
in
don't. I don't want
Europe.
6th spot, guys. I seriously don't want 6th spot.
I don't want
Manchester
6th
United.
spot, but I'm just saying I'm just saying that, you know what, if we get the players back and we have like at the last run of games is like 9 run in a row, right? That's when we come back from the international break. There's 9 games to go. Those 9 games, if we can win 7 or 8 of them, right, and then deal with the Arsenal game when it comes, which is the last game of the season, then you know what happens? We're in top 4 because 7 games is 3 points. That's 21 points to already 44. You know, we'll be on 65 points, and that's
It's
just
not.
7 wins. We
I
just
mean,
need
it's
to
not.
win.
I know what you're saying. It's not doom and gloom. As soon as we drop points, at one point, everything goes out a window. I know everyone. It was horrible. I admit I was bad me. I know, but then you wake up slowly and you look at it, what you do, and realistically speaking, and say, well, there is always this mathematical chance. Højlund out for 3 games, probably will come back again. Licha will come back again. What the hell is going on with Mason Mount? I don't fucking know, to be honest. How long he's going to be injured? Yeah. Dude, at the end of the day, we got to play football, right? We're playing tomorrow. God knows who he's going to line up. Do you have a clue who he's going to line up tomorrow? I mean, will it be a mix of youth? And will it mix half youth, half seniors?
In this
Will Bayanda give a start?
Well, in this first half of the presser, no one was asked that question.
Nobody.
So I believe that the team selection news will come in the second half of the embargoed. So I don't know if you guys want to just have a lineup that we might think might be the lineup, or we want to guys do it again at 6 p.m. when they release the embargoed section, and we could give a fair assessment and a fair assessment. Maybe I don't know what you guys are thinking.
I don't know. Let horses for courses, and let's add in Admiral Drex. Drexy, how you doing? Knock knock.
Yo, big
You
up,
there?
Mike. Big up. Yeah, I'm here. Big up, Mike. How are you doing?
How you doing, bro?
I'm all right.
Why is everyone on a dark mode here? Come on, where's your cameras?
Oh, right now this morning. Okay, then maybe the 6 p.m. show will come on the camera. Right now, I'm just.
Sajib, Kenny Fan TV forgot his makeup. That's why he's hiding.
I basically just got up about an hour 30 minutes ago and had to
droopy eyes. No excuse.
I had to deal with the little one, so it's all.
But you're here.
Yeah. Yeah, talking about Eric Ten Hag, I hear what you guys are saying, right? For me, it's more like the season is almost done. I can't I don't know what to say to United fans that they would try to, at least they'll calm them down a bit, but we just need to win tomorrow. Right? A win tomorrow, we at least calm the fans down, right? How we get the win, it's up to them. It's up to the players, because everybody tends to want to analyze how we even win a game, right? Because I remember when we won West Ham 3-0, people were still analyzing that game. I'm like, oh, it wasn't this, it wasn't that. And so either ways, the manager can catch a break. Yeah. So I just get to win tomorrow. At least it calms the fans, it calms their nerve down. Because right now, if you go on the social media, be it Twitter, be it Instagram, you get people saying that we're going to lose tomorrow's game. At the same time, we're going to get a heavy beating on Saturday. For me, win tomorrow. Let Saturday take care of itself. Just win tomorrow. I don't know how you want to win. Just win tomorrow. At least give the 100%. Fans something because it's a cup competition. Get into the next round of the cup of the competition. It gives the fans and even gives the players some sort of motivation. At least there's something to fight for. Whether it's the negative fans or it's the positive fans or it's the neutral fans, at least there's something. Nobody would deny that there was something to actually fight for, right? It's the hope. You have to hope. You have to have that hope, right? So that's how I see the game. But who to start tomorrow, I can't really tell you for sure, even if I have to make up a team. But I just hope that the manager sets up the team such a way that at least we could get the win tomorrow. Don't forget, Forest are right now in the relegation battle.
Yeah.
Not really relegation, but they are not, like 4 points away from relegation, right? So that will be playing on their minds as well. So is the coach going to prioritize FA Cup or is going to prioritize survival in the Premier League?
Yeah.
So that's another debate.
I heard that midfield is not that strong at the moment. A little bit of shaking ground there midfield. Very much playing away. Like, you know, the question is, will he give Amad Diallo a chance? Will Bruno start? Or if Bruno
Well, I already
honestly
heard that reports that Amad is starting tomorrow.
Yeah,
tomorrow,
honestly, I would give. There's we don't have a Hoyland. There's no point playing. I think for me, Garnacho should rest. Garnacho should rest. Then give Ahmad a start. I don't know who's gonna play strike tomorrow. I don't know, honestly, because
it's really hella very
it's very
uncertain.
difficult.
Very uncertain.
One thing I actually want to tell United fans, and they should do it, right? Everybody keeps complaining that, oh, you shouldn't use injury as excuse, right? I get it sometimes, right? But take a look at the squad. Close your eyes and take a look at the squad, the current squad now, and tell me, does that squad fill you with any confidence that this manager can do anything with? I'm not talking about take away injuries. Now the squad that we have, people are saying, okay, forget about the injuries, deal with what you have. This squad is supposed to be a top 4 squad, right? But they forgot that 2 seasons ago, we were not top 4. We're struggling.
Yeah.
Last season, the manager barely by the skin got, I wouldn't say, I may not use barely by the skin, but at least he got us 3rd place, where Liverpool were picking up some momentum and all of that. But we had that we were able to get over the line and we got 3rd, right? But ask yourself the question, guys: does this squad that we have, this current squad, do they really fill you with confidence? A lot of people want about 5-6 players out. Is that a team that actually could get you top 4? If you want 5-6 players out currently, do you think that squad is good enough? So where we blame the manager on the one hand, we should not be oblivious of the fact that this squad is so, not just that it's not good enough, it's actually depleted. There's no personnel in that squad. There's nothing.
True. I mean, you touch a point that I've been saying since January window. I mean, you just look at, you know, we didn't even get one single loan in, and we just depleted and loaned out every single spare part that we had available, right? So, and expect to compete for top 4. This is like, you know, not sustainable. You just have to play with what you got, and you just one injury away, like one striker away, one left back away, and we are in the situation where we are. But that's not Ten Hag to blame. That is actually the above decision to save money. And then basically, I said it then, it's basically them saying season is over and let's just focus on the summer for the overall rebuild and everything else. So I feel sorry, like, you know, as a fan to watch this. 100% I do. But at the end, I want us to win games. I want us to be in Champions League. And then people are saying, oh, well, why should we be in Champions League if we don't have a squad to play with? Well, that will be addressing this summer, 100%. But from right here, right now,
Mick, you're right, because you are a fan. Mark is a fan. I don't know the other person that's on the channel. So
he's a fan.
We are all Kenny is a fan,
yeah. Kenny. Okay, we are all fans.
No,
of
not
this
Kenny.
We are all fans of this football. We are all fans of this football club, right? There's something that we as fans we're right to put the emotions out there. Sometimes I think we go overboard, right? Not just one person, everybody, we go overboard. Whether you be positive or you be negative, we go overboard with it. But I'm just saying, as a fan, what do you want most? You want your team to win. Whether you have 11, whether you have a full squad or a fit squad, you don't play that, you don't put that at the back of your mind. You just want the team to win. Whoever is starting, the starting 11, you want them to perform, right? I get that. And we can't take that away from any fan, right? But the truth is, we have to look past. We're at a stage where now, as United fans, I feel like we should be able to say, okay, you know what? The point where we're at now, it's not good enough, but it's been coming. It's been coming. It's something that has been in the pipeline coming, right? It's not as if we've picked up. It's not as if we sorted out the back room or the structure. It's been coming.
Yeah.
This thing has been coming. It's been coming like 6 years ago. It's been coming that we're gonna. People kept saying it. I think Mick also said it that we were gonna hit the rock bottom. So why are we? Why is it that when we're hitting the rock bottom, everybody's looking for parachute? That there's no parachute at the moment.
No,
We are
true.
looking for.
This is Drex. The same thing applies in life. You got to hit rock bottom to pick yourself up to the top again. That is the
100.
cycle. You know, psychologically, everyone hits rock bottom. Everyone gets depressed, sink rock bottom. But it's how you get yourself up. It's the application. How do you get up on top again? And that's what is frustrating. You know, you look at this season and you go, how the hell did this happen? How did we get all these, 12, 13 players injured, first team players as well, and managed to be in this position where we are now? And then at the same time, blame the manager for the performances. Yeah, it is a double-edged sword. But all I'm saying is, as a club, I don't give a shit how you play. Just get those 3 points, right?
Yes.
Yeah, but Mick, you want to know something? I feel like we lack some players who just do that. You know that thing where that I call it the dark arts. A player go and make a Bristol run, and they know the team not settling defense, and they take that foul and a yellow card, and you shrug it off and walk because they know it's for the team. We don't have much players who do those things.
Yeah, I read an article that Harry Maguire said I should have taken the red card to stop that 2-1 goal in.
It wasn't even Harry Maguire. It was what's his name, Ericsson, that was in a better position to even take that guy out in their own half. Yeah, and it would have been a yellow card. Maguire would have been maybe a red card, but that Ericsson challenge would have been an easy yellow card. So these are the thing. We don't have players that want to fight, really want to be dirty. If it was a Martinez, I believe he would have brought that guy down.
Mark, guys, do you know what I expect tomorrow? My personal expectation, very simple: play to win. Play to win.
Yeah.
As a manager, what you can do is turning around, to prove to the fans, play the youth, because that's been the Manchester United way. Throw in some youth players, some excitement, some energy. Because if you look at the senior players like Rashford, Bruno, and all, they're knackered. How can you be knackered? How can you be so complacent? You're getting paid 300K a week. Show an example. Play youth. They're hungry. They want to play. They want to run to get the opportunities. They will get it, right? If Jurgen Klopp could do that in the final, why can't Erik ten Hag just put out a vibrant, hungry young team mixed together with some senior players that you really trust? That's what I want to see, right? That is the formula. Look who you have in the under 21. Okay, you're missing a left back. Who can start there, right? Who can start up front? Surely you can play Scott McTominay up front. 100%. You could. You can mix the formation a little bit. Play a 4-4-2 potentially. There's so many things you can do, but it's all down to how the manager want to set it up for now to the rest of the season. It's all about how you are thinking. You're thinking that I've been running the same systems in October and I refuse to change. Meaning, when you look at the rest pause, basically, when we are attacking with 8 players on front and leaving an exposed slow Casemiro, whatever, to handle 3 in the midfield. That's not sustainable. And that is when we are going to watch out for Nottingham Forest, because they will definitely hit you on the counter. They will definitely hit you with, what's his name? Elanga, right? That is what we should look after. Even if their midfield is not so good, just show some bloody fight tomorrow and against City as well, right?
100%. I think
you could lose games. I don't care, but it's the matter how you lose. That's the thing. As a fan, yeah.
Keyshawn, what are you saying? What are you saying, bro?
No, you said something not too long ago where you spoke about I think Admiral touched on it as well, where Mick touched on it where Maguire, he read an article saying Maguire should have taken him out or something like that. And over the years, it's one thing I've accused United of. We're not dirty. We're not a physical team. You know what I'm saying? When I watch the likes of the Forest, Newcastle, Everton, and these teams, they might be limited in terms of the talent they possess on the pitch, but it is one thing that they will give you in this fight. They will impose themselves on you physically. They will put down tackles. If you look at United, when I look at that midfield, much players I see from opposition teams just run straight through the midfield. I'm not saying go and get a red card or something, but make a foul, make a tackle, put a stop to it, take a card for the team. Sometimes you have to leave a game with at least 4 or 5 yellow cards, you know what I'm saying? And go into the next game, may rotate the squad if possible. So for me, United, we need to have a bit more fighting spirit within us. And Erik ten Hag has accused these players of not fighting enough for the team across this season. He has said it on countless occasions. You know what I'm saying? Marcus Rashford, Bruno Fernandes at times. You know, Bruno for me, at times I think he hides as a captain in moments. You know what I'm saying? Marcus Rashford does it as well as various other players on the pitch. They hide. And for United players, they cannot be hiding behind the badge. You know what I'm saying? You have to step up to the forefront. The team might be riddled with injuries, but you have to give 100%. Not only that, 110%. You know what I'm saying? We have to fight for something this season. Listen, we might not win the FA Cup, but we have to fight for something. We have the likes of Brentford coming up, Sheffield United. We have Everton after the Man City game. I don't care how depleted the squad is. We have to fight for something, guys.
Yeah, and the manager, if Bruno is stepping up, you gotta be a captain, right? I mean, the captain is the second in command next to the gaffer. Like, you know, the captain is the one that shows the leadership on the pitch. I don't want to see this again. This is against Fulham. Hang on. I don't want to see this again. Look at this. Nobody's touching him. Look what he's doing. Look what he's doing.
Yeah,
and the Oscar for simulation goes to. Look now. Look now.
Did kick his foot in that situation.
Look now. Look. Nothing is. Oh, yeah, here I am. Here and play the ball. I mean, come on.
That's what players do, Mick.
Mick, can I say something? Mick, can I say something?
Yeah.
43 just now said something about we are not dirty, right? If you remember when Pep first came into this league, one of the things he did, and I noticed it a lot because my uncle called my attention to it when we were watching the game. He said Pep plays dirty, but nobody sees it. Pep tends to foul you in your own 18 when you're breaking out. Everybody up to this moment, Pep, he does it. Most of his players, the referee would even give them a yellow card because he would be one of those fouls that when you look at it, you'll be like, oh, it's not a yellow card offense, right? But they do it every time to break up your play. One thing, even not just Erik ten Hag's United, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's United, even as far back as Mourinho's United, they don't play dirty. Everybody comes to United and just try to ride us. So I think going forward, right, Ineos should be able to tell these guys, okay, what are we going to be doing here? We can't be playing super friendly football in a competitive game. That's why when I see the likes of Casemiro go into some tackles and people call it he's too rash, it doesn't make rational decision. I'm like, no, we need to put something in this opposition's player's mind that there's somebody in that midfield that would bulldoze you, that would come at you if you don't, we need to put that fear. But
United pass that ball.
They just yo man.
And
that's why I like Lisha. That's why I like Lisha. Lisha don't care who you are. He puts that fear in you. Makes you know that okay,
you make a good point as well.
Can I just make a valid point to you there? The problem is, and the problem this season is that we don't hold on to the ball. We are in a horrible rush. We don't hold possessions. We don't have players that can hold possession. If you had a solid midfield that could sort of hold the ball and play it around, knock it around a little bit, but we are so fast, and we don't even find the combinations anymore. Like the 1-2 touch passes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but the
press is not there either.
The problem with that, Mick, is our midfield is now where the ball is to be kept. If you look at how we've been playing, and it was like mostly be like one of the wingers is the player who does receive the ball and transition the most besides Leacher when he playing. So the way I look at our system is that maybe our midfield is more like a funnel where the major ball carriers and possessors of the ball in the team is like a Marcus Rashford, or let's say like a Garnacho, or maybe like a Alessandro Martinez when they're on the field. Because those are the players you would see having most of the touches per game, most of the ball possession in games.
Yeah.
So I just feel like maybe the midfield is just like a funnel to pass the balls to those players who are supposed to keep it and carry the tempo of the team. Because if you look at the last 5 games before the Fulham game, Marcus Rashford had a great start to each game. And in those games, he had a lot of carries with the ball. And he kind of basically set the tone and the pace for the entire team. Gave it balance in attack. So it's just one of those guys. It's just
no. I mean, it's all for me. It's all about Of course, you want to say good style of football, but if you could just go back and look for ever since October, we've been playing pretty much the same way. and conceding what? How many goals have we conceded? 39 so far. 39.
Yeah.
That's a lot of goals, to be honest. Look, I don't care how many goals you conceded, how many goals you put in on the opposition's net, and the 3 points that you bring on the scoreboard. We should be able to go to Nottingham Forest tomorrow. Just say we're bloody Manchester United. We're going to win this, right?
That's the thing. That's the thing. I feel like, you know, we are Manchester United is something that kind of keeping us behind from really being Manchester United again, because I feel like the atmosphere right now is not a Manchester United atmosphere, and I can't really blame it 100% just on the players, because I feel like in a situation where I've seen under Alex Ferguson, it had multiple players having a bad season at one point in time, but the fans stood behind them. But I feel like now with the media, the constant media agenda and all these different, you know, pundits having their different opinions and the different analysis, I feel like the fans more overly critical without looking at the simple contextual fact that this is the second season of a manager rebuild, and we're supposed to make mistakes. You know, the team didn't finish sixth last season; they finished third, and we still have games to play where we could still finish top 4 this season. But we acting like this team is in 10th where Chelsea is, based on the views and the rants that I have seen. That's how I feel.
I heard that Poch might get sacked as well. So Chelsea's another one looking for another manager. Not only Chelsea, Liverpool, we're looking for a manager. Barcelona, potentially Real Madrid. A lot of elite clubs going to look for a new manager in the summer. I've never seen in my history of covering transfer that you actually a lot of people looking for strikers, but managers this summer, it's going to be unprecedented. So what do? Right? You don't sack the manager right now. You understand that he hasn't been given the right tools above, right? 100%. We know that. But at the end of the day, what it's the eye test that catches you, right? It's the eye test. And the ultimate result gets blamed on the manager because of his in-game management and his selection as well. Now, what I'm trying to say here, if Ten Hag, if you want to save your ass, do something different, right? Show that you can do different and don't be stubborn. Don't keep the same formation. Don't do what you're trying to do, like, you know, have one sitting holding midfielder and 8 to press on front, because nobody really pressing. Because all it takes is one giveaway from Bruno or Rashford, and we get done on the counter-attack. Happens all the time, right?
I mean,
and don't start with Lindelof as a left back, please. And this is why I will support Mark that said, like, play Anthony Dos Santos as a left back, as a left winger.
I think Lindelof is possibly injured right now as well, so I don't even think he's an option right now, because he came off in the game with a slight injury. So and we didn't get to hear the actual injury questions on Lindelof and other players, only on Casemiro. They were really like asking some questions that made no sense.
No, but I'm not even. The thing is, guys, I'm not Ten Hag in or Ten Hag out. You know, I'm Klopp. That's for me. Like, I want us to win. That's the thing. I always want us to win. But what I'm saying, if you want to impress me, Ten Hag, show that you can do something different. Show that you are the lead coach that people were saying when we recruited you. Right now, I don't see it. Right now, I don't see, like, you know, you doing any changes. You keep blaming on injuries, and when they get back, we'll be a different team. Yeah, but look at everyone else around you. Like, with a lesser thinner squad, they find a way to finesse it, right?
Yeah, but it's different though, because
but it's different. And I mean, that's what I'm saying. If you don't trust Bruno to do the job, if you don't trust Rashford to do their job, put him on the fucking bench. Simple as that.
It don't really have anyone on the bench. I mean, it's like, okay, for me, I look at it from the perspective where when the players follow the manager's system and the tactics, and they put the effort in, you could see the results in the last 6 games.
What I'm suggesting here for FA Cup, you know, in FA Cup,
we need to
Carabao Cup, he hasn't been rotating. He's been playing his strongest team. FA Cup, I do expect to see, like, Bayanda in goal, to see some new kids coming up to give him a chance, right? Ahmad to be given a chance, Forson to give him a chance, and just take it from there. If it ain't working in the first half, bring in the seniors. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you should. And you know what? It's like I would say this, right? I hear a lot of people say Erik ten Hag have a lack of talent ID. But as he said in the press conference, I fully agree with it, man. It's fully factual what he said. He brought Kobe Minu through the ranks.
It did.
Kobe Mainoo was in the under 16s, if no one knew, until before Eric Ten Hag moved him to the under 18s in his first season when he came to the club and had
He's
him there.
fast tracking. He's fast tracking.
So
Harry Amos is also
Harry
fast tracked.
Amos as well. Willie Kwambala as well. You know, this youngster, Collie Moore, fast tracked as well. Lots of young players are training with the first team week in, week out. And this was happening ever since his first season. So, you know, a lot of fans, they need to give this manager time. I feel like, you know, he will play his strongest team. That's just my opinion. Also, because, you know, this is a match week where it hasn't been a while. It has been a while since we had multiple games in a match week. So I feel like he will still play his strongest 11, but he will rotate heavily in the second half.
I agree with Richard Taylor here. He plays his strongest side because the fan base wants him to win at all costs. But at the same time, doing so, you're burning out the squad. That's why you have all these injuries. So you can't not play them week in and week out. That's the thing. You got to give players other such shot as well. So for me personally, as a fan, I want to see some changes. Like I want to see some positive, like, you know, show some positivity on the pitch. But what do we expect? This is always supposed to happen, right? You win some, you lose some. You know, I don't want him sacked. 100%. I don't want him sacked. I don't want us to be embarrassed. All I'm saying is, like, play good football tomorrow. Just play 100%. Like you mean it.
Guys,
so, could we even do the score prediction? Don't even bother.
Yeah, we'll do it in the you know, you guys, you know, you could make, you know, I know you'll create the stream for the 6 p.m.
I don't know if I will, man.
If you have time. If not, guys, you know, we could come back tomorrow midday and have a discussion and actually do a match
midday
prediction.
We can do one. It's
because
like
we could we could do it before the game, a match preview to the game, and everybody could get involved. Keyshawn, I have your email, so you know I will send you the links.
Yeah.
Big up to you, Drex, for coming in. Big up to you, Sachiv.
Thank you.
And Mick Ruby, the boss. Running
no, I'm not the boss. I was
dinner,
just we just go with the pants down to the ankles.
Yeah,
because
it's all
we set
good.
The stream
it's all good.
At this time of the hour, to be honest, and they came around and changed it. So I was out for dinner.
We never really expected that, because I didn't even know until Mick brought it to my attention that he thinks the presser
Thank you
changed.
for covering.
Because I was thinking about it like, yo, it's 2:30. Like it would have been starting right now, to be fair, guys. And then I checked and it was like, whoa, next 20 minutes. So we had to, you know, shuffle around the deck a little bit. But it gave, you know, Sachiv, Keyshawn, and Drex a time to come in and give us their opinions as well.
Thank you for coming.
So that was really good. Thank you to you guys, and big up to everyone joining us. You know, I see Jonathan Lillenberg is already saying 2-1 Notts Forest. Yeah, right, bro.
I don't want to come in
that
negative,
one hurts
man.
a little bit. You know, I see Red G is here. Royden Frost is coming in. Big up to you, Royden. You know how it is. You know, guys, you know, it's not all bad and it's not all great, but there's still a chance. You know what I mean? And we are Manchester United fans at the end of the day. It's been the Eric Ten Hag Manchester United press conference on MUFC Realist TV.
Yeah.
Beat the press, guys. With everyone joining us, thank you to the VR Rumors for coming in. Don't forget to smash those likes and subscribe. Guys, Mick Ruby, what's good?
That was good. I mean, I feel positive after all. Like, you know, it's not all doom and gloom. You know, I understand you get bitter over one loss that we should actually have won. But this has been a season. I do believe that we can bounce back tomorrow. I do believe if we are the better team, if we go in there, put a foot down, you know, and just go pedal to the metal, get the first goal in, and just go it. You know, just don't invite pressure. We can do it, guys. And then we will talk about City later on this week. But you know what? Thank you all for coming in. Stay positive. Be Manchester United supporter. No matter what, always support your team and believe. That's all I can say. You know, it hurts to lose, but it even hurts more to sit here and press record and talk about it. You know what I mean? That's the truth. That's the truth. So anyway, I'm not sure if we're going to cover this. So I suggest that we do an afternoon tomorrow, Mark, just as a kind of warm up, look into it more. We will have more news. Until now, just chill, relax, watch what's going on. It's the Manchester United. Never get boring, guys. There will always be something coming out in the press. and we're here to beat the press anyway. So big up Sajeev for coming in. Big up for Admiral Drex. 433 Presser, I've seen you before. Big up to coming to the channel as well, man. And everyone, please don't forget to smash that like button. Subscribe if you haven't. And one more thing, very important thing. Please check your settings notification. So to personalize, you never miss a stream in any channel that you do. Because that's YouTube has changed it. So that's why you never get when people are going live. So, but you can actually change it. You have the power, the notification button. That's all I have to say. Brilliant.
I wanted to just play this for all time's sake because this was the manager's press conference, and this is always so funny. It's legendary, guys. And let's close.
I need you to promise me that you'll be on your best behavior. I promised other people that I'd be on my worst behavior. And I gave my word, so. Don't make me fire you. You can't fire me. You're acting manager, not office manager, so you have no firing powers. Don't make me pre-fire you. You wouldn't dare. Watch this. You're pre-fired. And when I'm promoted, you'll be full fired. If you get promoted. And if you haven't fallen in love with me by then. What?
That's all, folks. Big up to all of you coming in today. Thank you all for being here. We'll catch you on next time. It's been your voice. Eminem, Sachiv, Keyshawn, and Drex. Today, MUFC Realist panel, big one today. Thank you all for joining us. Have a great day.
Thanks for having me on, man. Take care.
That's all, folks.
Thank you so much for stopping by and watching MUFC Realist TV. Don't forget to like and subscribe and follow us on the socials.